NCIA and MCBA, along with National Cannabis Roundtable, the US Cannabis Council, and the National Hispanic Cannabis Council, have released a joint letter to the US Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs to expeditiously take action on the bipartisan Safe Banking Act upon its reintroduction, highlighting the urgent need for congressional action to alleviate the barriers to accessing capital and banking services to public safety and support economic growth. So what really struck me here is that these are organizations that we should be working together more. We should be working together in lockstep a lot more because we do represent the businesses in the industry in a lot of different sectors and spheres, right? MCBA, minority cannabis businesses, NCIA, of course, we cover Main Street cannabis, which includes a lot of minority-owned businesses. And then USCC is definitely made up of a lot more so-called the bigger players at the table. But the reality is we all need to be working together because this is a small industry relative to where it's going to be going, and we need to be thinking about things together. So it's great to see all of us working together, NHCC, of course, and NCR too. And that's a great segue to really talk here with Keyston here, because Keyston is, as I mentioned earlier, the chair of our Banking and Financial Services Committee. So before I pass the mic here to Keyston, I just want to say real quick here, Keyston has been somebody that I've looked at with a lot of respect over the last few years. I got to meet you, Keyston, in Chicago at that Chicago Resources Fair that the city of Chicago put on. I think it was 2019 or something like that. When cannabis was coming online for adult use in Illinois. We had a great conversation there out on the floor there, and just really ever since then, every time we've checked in, you've always got amazing things going on, and have always kept really that the eye on the prize of being realistic and at the same time staying positive, staying optimistic about what we're doing here. Like if we're doing this for real, if we're really building something, we have to stay positive and we have to believe in ourselves and believe in what we're building here. And that's something I've always really respected and appreciated about you and every circle that you've been in, every time we come in a room and you're there. So thank you for joining us here today. Thanks for all the work you're doing with Gallantry Industries and everything else. I'd love to hear your take on this banking thing and kind of what the deal is with safe banking and how your committees are looking at that. And yeah, tell us how you're doing, man. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me on the show. Very excited to be here. Listened to it a couple of times, so definitely an honor. So yeah, I remember 2019 UIC Pavilion or UIC Forum. First entry into cannabis. Me and some of the other business partners were already into hemp, but the rec was rolling out here, and some of the same issues, then are still some of the same issues now, with the new spin on it. Now, with regards to the banking, so I smile and I'll pause because, one, I'm not a politician, so I'm just going to say it how I see it. As always, well, I've always been. Politicians say, well, we're delaying because some of the provisions it's not protecting some of the bad actors. I get it, but you aren't protecting some of the good actors, in that space. And so that's one of the things that Banking Financial Services Committee here at NCIA, we work towards, and saying, well, okay, until safe banking passes, there are financial services and companies out there that can be utilized to help grow your business, sustain your business, and then, make your dreams a reality, or even your business a success as you see fit. And, one of the things you mentioned earlier about, being positive, is understanding the business that you're in. And cannabis, it's not a very quick get rich type scheme type business. So that's one of the things. As long as you temper that expectation, you understand it's a marathon. There's going to be iterations, particularly in the sector of banking and finance, because there's very restrictive policies in place. Then you're going to be okay. Being part of a network like NCIA and some of the other cannabis associations really helps out, because just in NCIA alone, we have over 60 plus banking and financial service, entities or entities that are providing those services for cannabis operators and new cannabis entrepreneurs. And so just being part of that network in itself can resolve some of the banking and financial service issues that, initially we ran into in 2019 with getting into banks that service your type of account for your business, as well as getting accountants and tax representatives who who can support, some of the specific needs that you have, involving 280E and some of the other restrictions that you might have with the operating cannabis business.